hate microphones, but here we go. So I work on bass. I'm Thomas Bernhardt. I brief for a living, so I brief generals and stuff. But for the last year and a half, I haven't briefed anyone in person because of COVID, so you're a lot scarier than what I'm used to. This is my second year as the JV head coach, and this was a little bit of a different year because in years past we had a lot of older guys on our team. This year we only had 4 returning players onto our JV team. So we had to have a lot from our young guys, a lot from our freshmen. A lot of them started every game, and a lot of them, even the guys who didn't start, contributed just a lot to this team. I will be honest with you, I don't know our record. I don't know how we did in terms of wins and losses. I kind of have a vague understanding of the general thing, but I've told the players this, I don't actually care all that much, especially at the JV level, if we win or if we lose. But what I asked of your boys every day was that they put in the work, that they showed enough will, enough resolve, enough effort on that field, so that someday in life, when they graduate from the school, when they move on, and they're faced with that adversity, that they've gone through something that allows them to kind of translate that to their life. When they have real adversity in their life, that they have something to look back on and say, I know that I can push through. I know I can conquer. So that's what I ask of your boys every day. It's just to start to grow as men of virtue, of resolve, of work ethic. And I thought, for such a young team, going up against a lot of teams that had many juniors on their team, many older guys playing on our JV team, I thought we showed that. I thought we worked hard. I thought we did well. And so that, I'll just announce the boys' names, and they can come up and grab their things from the coaches. I don't know if Iowa is here.
Not here.
Nick?
Not here either.
Good start. Sam Campion. Chris Collins. Brian. Aiden. Alex. Lee. Stay on still here. Just left. All right. Sam Wendley. Zach. Ian. We got Neil. Donovan. And then just real quick, somebody that I asked a lot of this year, maybe a little disappointment being on the JV team at the start of the year. And there were a couple days in practice where I asked more of him, and he gave me that every day. And so Kevin Saunders, our captain.
I'm going to try to get some life out of it because I have a decent amount to say. I don't want to lose my voice. I'll say something really quick about the JV team and just encouragement for next year. And this goes to the varsity. So we lost 13 seniors last year on the varsity team. And I know as a coaching staff, talking to some of the older guys, we really had no idea where we were going to fill that depth from. Losing 13 guys, we had a good season last year. We're like, where's it going to come from? So we had 13 players this year play their first varsity game. So the majority of that came from JV the year before. And a lot of those guys ended up starting this year and contributing. So JV matters, the development matters. I went to every single JV game. I paid attention, so that kind of stuff in the off season really should drive you to work hard and be ready for the next season. Because it's gonna come here, and a lot of you guys may be expected to make a big jump and get quality minutes. So encouragement for that. I'll move on to the varsity stuff. So that being said, we had a good season last year. Lost 13 guys, and a lot of those guys were goal scorers and assists, defenders. We lost our entire back line basically. So we had to figure out how we were going to move forward. And luckily, those 13 guys, really contributed. Our seniors were really huge this year. And we have a lot to be proud for. And the great thing, at least to me, is I think we were kind of disappointed we didn't get further. Even though we had all these success, and I'll name some of these in a second, we still wanted more. Is this not working? I couldn't. Okay, I'll try to project larger. Anyways, what I was saying is, I'm impressed that it wasn't enough. We finished the highest in the GCL since 2005, so it's 16 years. We finished second this year, as many of you know. We had our first win against Alter since 2012. We had our first win against we had our first win against Butler since 2009. Definitely my two favorite wins of the year, and I'm sure most of you guys would agree with that. And we had our highest seed in the tournament since I can find, since the tournament records go back to 2009, and we had our highest seed since then, so a 3 seed. So yeah. And honestly, we had our toughest schedule this year in recent CJ history, really. We played Centerville, who ended up going to the state finals in D1, played 5 other D1 schools, played all the best D2 schools in the area. I think we really only had one game, Greenview, where we knew we should win that game. Every other game was going to be a battle. We knew that. And to finish with our record is incredibly impressive. So with all that being said, I still feel like me and the guys at the end of the season felt like we could have done more. And I think that goes a long way to setting the standard for a program, to not be satisfied, even though we haven't done these things in decades and even longer. To set that standard, and the seniors, which I'll talk about in a second, really, they were the ones who did that. This could have been a rebuilding year. We were really young. We had 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 4 juniors, and then 8 seniors. So it was spread out. This could have been treated as a year that we were getting ready for next year or the year after, because we were really young. But really, we had a really successful year, and by all measures of what you can measure in terms of ranking, in terms of seed, in terms of our placement in the conference, all of those things are better than last year. So that's impressive. It's an incredible achievement for you seniors and for hopefully young guys to see what that means. And kind of, I think the seniors last year, we had a big turnaround from the year even before. I think they kind of dictated and helped what it meant to win this year. And then I think these seniors kind of just took that to the next level. We competed in every single game. I think there was only one game, I'd say the tip game, where we didn't battle, and I can't say that for every year. Last year, there's a few games we got blown out, Carroll, Alter. This year, every single game, including even the Centerville game, we were there. We were 3-1 with like 20 minutes left, and we had chances to get even closer. So that battle, that fight, it speaks volumes, and I think that's the kind of stuff you can build a culture of and a program on. So, seniors, thank you for that. I'm just going to go through the whole roster and announce different, based on different years, how many years you've been playing varsity, you get something different. So, like I've said, we had 13 first-year varsity players, so we'll go through that now. We'll start, even though I already gave it to him, we'll start with Kevin Saunders, earned that varsity spot for the season. Next is Jonathan Kane. Jonathan. All right. Next up is Philip Dix. Next up is Joey Zimmerman. And then next up is Andrew Cannon. Next up is CJ Camden. And then next is TJ Petrovic. Next up is Alex Rosengarten. Next up is Adam Cutter. Next is Chris Rivers. Next up is Garrett Sass. Connor Berry's not here, but next up is Connor Berry. last is Logan Rambo. Okay, and then the next guys are the second year guys, so they get a varsity bar. First up is Con. I don't believe he's here, but we give Con a and next is Rob Caton. Next up is David Wendling. And then next is Adam Elder, who's also not here, but we can. And then last is Tucker Forsoff. We have two guys, so this is be their third year of varsity. The first one is Will Candle. And the last guy is Cole Younger. And then the last one is if it's 4 years of earning a varsity letter, you get a blanket. We had one guy do that this year, and that's Jack Downey. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the seniors in general. I'll talk about each one individually, and then you guys can just stay up here and we'll kind of give you all one last clap off. So just hold your applause until we're done with the whole group and we'll clap for them. I feel a special kind of bond with this class. This is my 4th year at CJ. I've been here 2 years as the varsity assistant, and then two years as the head coach. So this is my first class that I've seen completely through, that I've had all 4 years, and so I know these guys really well. So I'm happy that we were able to, and the team gave them a really good season. They deserved it for the work both this year and all 4 years, so I'm happy for them. So first up is Tucker Forsoff. You can walk up here. So I'm going to talk about Tucker while he's walking up here. Tucker's been one of the most reliable guys in the program for the last 3 years. Every time us coaches discussed the starting 11 before a game, we never had to worry about the left back spot because Tucker was always prepared and ready to battle. Coaching Tuck has been a joy. He's the type of guy who you don't have to give up too much instruction to. He just gets it. Watching him crunch opponents in a tackle, win the ball, throw a fake, and play a ball up the field to one of his teammates or make an attacking run time after time was extremely satisfying. Tuck also made second team All-GCL this year, and for good reason. We're going to miss his presence and his skills in the back line in the seasons to come. That's Tuck. Next up is Rob. You can come on, Rob. Rob's been a fun guy to watch grow, and I say that the most literal way possible. He came in just as a really small, I think he was like 4'11" freshman, but he played big, and eventually his height caught up to him, which is great. Rob brought a lot of positive things to the table this year as a captain. He was extremely reliable on the wing, and we really missed him when he was absent for a week with illness. He had a few clutch goals and assists, including the big one against Butler to put the game away when he played it to Jack. Some of the runs he made with the ball at his feet were incredible to watch, and Rob was also deservedly second-team All-GCL this season. We're going to miss his calm presence on the field and also his leadership. It's been a pleasure to have him in the program these last 4 years. That's Rob. Next up is David Windley, and you come on it, Dave. David did not have what I would call a normal senior season. But even though he went through the serious adversity of badly breaking his arm, he stayed ready and he was able to help our team in the second half of the season. I remember Coach Roop telling me that David, when he was on the stretcher being taken off the field, he told him, "Coach, I'll be fine, I'll be back soon." That tells me a lot about who David is. He's a guy who wants to play and who wants to help his team win. One of my favorite goals we scored this season was from David against Wayne. It was a nice team goal, but David made a great run and finished beautifully to lead us to the win. And he also had one of the biggest assists of the season when he made something out of nothing in the tournament game against Baden. I'm excited to see what's next for him and proud of what he was able to accomplish this year in the face of adversity. That's Dave. Next up is Jack Downing. I've told Jack this several times, but he's just my guy. He's the first player that I've coached all 4 years on varsity. My first 2 years as an assistant and these past 2 years as a head coach. So watching him grow into the player and the leader he has been phenomenal. From him throwing up his freshman year at the Eagle to giving his absolute everything in every single game this season as a senior, he's grown so much and he's earned every single one of the many accolades he's got this season. Jack was first team All-GCL, the GCL Player of the Year, first team All-Dayton South, first team All-District, second team All-State, and had 15 goals and 20 assists in his last 2 seasons. We're going to miss Jack, and we're thankful for what he's given to the program and the standard he set for the number 8. That's Jack. Next up is Cole Younger. Cole is the most athletic player I've ever coached. As a transfer his sophomore year, we didn't really know Cole very well, and he ended up getting put on JV that season. It didn't take long for us to realize he needed to be on varsity, and after 4 or 5 games, he ended up getting his first varsity start that year. Cole is such a fierce competitor, and watching him play backyard games, particularly basketball at team dinners, is where you really see that showcase. He wants to compete, and he will work his butt off to help his team win. This season, I feel like it really came together for Cole, and he scored one of the best goals I've seen since I've been here with his volley against Baden. Cole was always a threat out of the air, scoring multiple header goals this season. He was dangerous at all times, and it was a joy to watch him win balls into the air against guys that were way taller than him. I look forward to seeing what Cole does next. The next 2 guys aren't here, but I'll go ahead and talk about them because I think we're filming it. So, Adam Elder. The thing I'll miss most about Adam is his energy and vocal leadership. No matter what the situation was, game or training, I could always count on Adam to we have their faces. No matter what the situation was, game or training, I could always count on Adam to pick the team up if the energy wasn't there or the team was quiet. He's been like this since he was young, as he was voted unanimous JV captain his freshman year. I think that says a lot about what his teammates think about him. One of my favorite Adam moments is from the Altar game this season, probably our biggest win of the year. Adam hadn't started the previous game against Baden, and we were trying to figure out what defensive lineup to go with against Altar since it was such a big game. And I was confident, since he had been training well, was a senior, and a great leader, that this was his game. And in perfect Adam fashion, he rose up to the challenge when he was called on and played probably the best game of his career and was crucial in helping us win that game. That game is just Adam in a nutshell. That's Adam. Next up is Connor Berry. Well, I think the most memorable Connor moment, for better or worse, will be his red card in his first varsity game against Oakwood. But what I do admire about Connor is how good of a teammate he is. I know Connor didn't get as many minutes as he would have liked, but every time we scored or someone made a great play, Connor was always one of the most excited guys every single time. In training, he was always ready to talk about teams we were playing next and what our game plan was and players to watch. That's something that not everyone would do in his situation. It's a selfless team-first attitude, and it shows how invested he was in the team and how great of a teammate and friend he is. I was super impressed with it, and while the coaching staff still thinks Connor got a little bit taller every single time we saw him, that attitude and mentality is going to lead Connor to do some great things. That's Connor Berry. And then last is Logan Rambo. So Logan was a welcome surprise this year. All that I knew from when I first saw his name when he emailed me in the spring was that he had the coolest last name ever. What I learned later in the summer at Open Fields was that he was an incredibly talented soccer player that kind of just fell into our lap. The only problem was that he was a senior transfer, and we knew we'd have to try and jump some hoops so that he could play a whole season. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. While it's a huge bummer, Logan was still a really big part of the success this season. He played in some of our biggest results of the season against Alter, Butler, Bellbrook, Miamisburg, and he's going to haunt Baden for the rest of those kids' lives when he scored a hat trick in 20 minutes. I'm not sure we keep a record of it, but I would bet that that's probably the fastest hat trick in CJ history. And it was against a conference opponent, no less. So I'll always remember that game. And while it stinks we didn't get him a full season, I'm super grateful that Logan decided to come to CJ in the time he was able to play. That's Logan. So just one last round of applause for these guys. Okay, so the next thing is we had several guys, fortunately, make the All-GCL team this year. So we had 7 in total, and we have medals for you guys. So once you get announced, you guys can come up and get them, and you guys can just clap as they go. That's fine. First is honorable mention Alex Rosengarten. And then we had 3 guys make the second team. First one is Rob Caton. Next up is Tucker Forstoff. After that is Will Candle. And then we had 3 guys make the first team. The first one is Con Chan. Next is Jack Downing. And then the last one is Cole Younger. And then, as we all know, we had the GCL Player of the Year this year. It's a huge honor for both our program and that player. And I will say this about all of these awards. All of these are team awards. We don't get 7 guys on the first team if everybody doesn't do their part. And these guys deserve it, and it's great to get the individual honor, but that happens because of a collective. It happens because of every single guy in training, in games, and parent support. So everyone should be really proud of that. We had a bunch of awards this year, but I was trying to look at records when the last time we had the Player of the Year in the conference was, and the records go back to 2004, and then before that, I don't know, but since then we haven't had a Player of the Year. So this is the first time in at least 17 years, quick math there, that we've had one, and that was Jack Downing. Okay, moving on to the next is the All Area Awards. So these are voted on by the Miami Valley Soccer Coaches Association. So all the coaches in the area meet and vote on these players. So this is based on other coaches voting. So it's a good honor to have. And so the way it works is there is a Dayton South and a Dayton North. So all of these players were voted to the Dayton South team. So the third team this year we had 3 guys voted to the third team. The first one is Tucker Forstall. And the next one on third team is Will Candle. And then last is Cole Younger. And then we had 2 guys voted to the first team All Dayton South, and those 2 guys are Con Chan and Jack Dowd. And then there's an all-district team determined, so the top 5 or 6 players from the Dayton North and the top 5 or 6 players from the Dayton South make an all-district team, and Jack was also named to the all-district team. And then we had one player make all state this year, and that's Jack Down. He made second. And then the last thing, so there's a Dayton South senior game, and the seniors that make the All-Star team get to play in that, and they play against the Dayton North team. Unfortunately, it was canceled this year, so we couldn't play in it, but the 2 guys that were nominated were Jack and Cole. So you guys have shirts. So that's it for the area and other coaches awards. We have some internal awards that I'll announce here in a second. But again, that's been the most awards we've given out since I've been here, at least in the 4 years I've been here. So a lot to be proud of as a collective and as a program. And just talking with some of the other coaches in the area, I feel like we've really taken a big step forward in being in a soccer program. Just being recognized as CJ as a soccer school, and the way to continue that is just to keep going up. So well done, everybody. Really proud of the whole team and program this year. We have 3 team awards that we give out. So the first one that I'll be doing is the Newcomer of the Year award. So this year, this award is just given to either a freshman or someone who's new to the program and hadn't played at all the previous year. The guy this year that we're giving it to kind of just came out of nowhere, and I think really helped our program both in training and just as a kind of like a personality, and that guy is Logan Rambo. The next award is the Eagle Award. This goes to someone I think kind of just embodies what the coaching staff at least thinks what being an Eagle is. It's about encouraging your teammates, setting a high standard, and setting a culture that we really want to move forward and advance. This guy was just a positive leader for us all year. Just can't say enough good things about his leadership and how he was a captain this year, and he's absolutely going to be captain next year, and that's Will Candle. The final award is for just an overall MVP. And what I said last year, what I'll say again this year is it doesn't necessarily have to be the best person on the team. It can be, but it's someone who is an integral part of winning every single game that we won, or just a kind of identity of our program had. And this player this year was both of those things I felt for us. It's Jack, but I'm going to keep talking about him for a second. There were just a few games where, even though we lost it, and it was totally on the refs, the McNick game, I thought that was a huge game that we were talking about. It would have put us in a great spot. But both plays, both times we scored, Jack kind of was the one who instigated it and kind of just took over a game. That kind of mentality is really what makes him valuable. It was just huge for us this year. So that's Jack and okay, that's all I have for the award stuff. I want to do an overall thank you to the parents and families. I know it is a ton of time, there's a ton of driving, there's a ton of changes, and for you guys to be flexible the whole year, and just your support overall, whether it was in team app, whether it was on the field, supporting our guys, especially at away games when they don't have the fans there. Just that kind of support is huge, and it's part of our success, 100%. So thank you so much to the collective, and then I have some individual thank yous as well. I'd like to thank Karen and Ian Caton just for all their help over the 4 years. They both have helped so much with uniforms, pictures, organization, and just helping us coaches over the 4 years. So we're going to miss them a ton, and we're thankful for them. Next person is Steve Candle, just for filming all the games. I watched that film literally as soon as I can, and you put it up there like the next day, next morning, and it was always great. So super appreciative of that, and happy that we had that. So that's for Steve Campbell. And then Colleen Candle helped with the subway. If someone else did, thank you as well. But that was huge for us this year. So thank you for that. And then we had 2 team dinners this year, and I thought both of them went extremely well and were super well received by the players as well. So I'd like to thank both the Younger family and the Sass family for hosting those team dinners. And then the junior parents, as always, for helping with senior night. You guys were kind of limited this year since we only have 4 juniors, I think. So thank you guys for doing the extra work this year. And then last is David and Sam's grandparents very graciously donated bags this year to the program. So that was a huge need that we've been needing for 4 years. We're super grateful. So that's the last thank you I have. So. I'm trying to be more proactive with giving you guys dates for summer. So I'll give you a few dates now. I'll post this in Team App, so don't feel like you have to write these down. But if you want to, you can. We already have the Competitive Edge camp scheduled. So if you can plan your vacation around that, please do. The guys that went there this year, I think, were really responsive to it. It's always good to kind of just get another voice than ours, and those people have had a lot of success. So we're going to do that again with them this year. And those dates will be July 18th through the 21st, and it'll be in the evening again. And then the other date to circle is Saturday, July 30th. We're going to do, it's a one-day friendlies tournament at Alter. We won't be playing them because it's a friendly, and we don't do that with Alter. So we'll play other teams. They're hosting it. I've already talked to their coach. So excited about that. And then coming up soon, this will be a varsity-only thing. We'll only take 1 team this year. Is the President's Day futsal tournament. So it's just a one-day tournament that Monday of President's Day. So I'll post about that as well, just to remind you guys. But it'll be February 21st of next year. So I'm already really excited for next year. I think that we're going to have a really good group, and thanks again to seniors for kind of driving that success and pushing us. So thank you all for this year. It's been great. Hopefully you guys stay around, players, and take pictures and all that. But other than that, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
I don't have a speech. Jack can give you one. Yeah, Jack's got it.
Oh man, I'm put on the spot. All three of the coaches, they've been awesome. I don't think the team would be where we're at throughout all these years without these guys right here. And we've had a few coaching changes in the past few years, and I think these guys have definitely solidified their spots as being up there with the greats for CJ coaches. So, I mean, I love these guys. I know all the players love these guys, and I can't wait to see where these guys take the team in the next few years. So, really proud.